So, all right, guys, let's continue with the next part. In this particular program, guys, we have, discussed multiple different tools and different approach we have done with, right? So, as a high level, we have discussed about multiple different use case of Git. We discuss about um, hooks and triggers in the Git or GitHub. We have discussed about Jenkins and multiple things in the Jenkins and integration we have done. Then Docker, then and very high level about or the core level about the Kubernetes we have done. Even though I have some more plan to discuss in Git, so according to me, it's not finally completed. Same thing with Jenkins, some more advanced thing in the Jenkins, plus also in the Kubernetes. So as and when we require, or as and when we will find certain use cases on Jenkins and Kubernetes, we will continue with the further discussion, right? But in this journey of DevOps, right, even though from my side I haven't actually explained you till date, right, the right meaning and the core meaning of the DevOps, right? Because I feel let's first learn multiple different use cases. Let's first learn multiple different tools, and then if after you have a great knowledge in all those tools, at that time if I explain you DevOps, and that time I explain you pipeline, that time I explain you assembly line, you can very fastly in one click you link it, plus also you can come up with a lot of new ideas also. And those guys who are working in the corporates, they might feel that time, yeah, that is the actual challenges we are facing. And now now after integrating these kind of tools in this way, we can very easily solve it, right? So from my side, it the right meaning or the meaning of DevOps has not been actually discussed from my side finally. But one of the great area in the DevOps world, right, and I've according to me that is very critical, right? Normally you deploy your applications maybe in a day or in a week once, right? But something that you have to do daily, and something is the one who always help you, right? Always help you. And I believe almost in whichever the domain you are in technological world, you should be guys expertise in this particular area, right? The area that I'm going to discuss today is about monitoring. So you should be good in the monitoring world, right? So it doesn't matter you are guys are the cloud guys, or you are the big data guys, or you are data guys, security guys, machine learning guys, data science guys, IoT, app development, infrastructure, whatever the field you guys are in, right? Monitoring is always be your best friend, right? It help you in all the context, right? How is help you? I will discuss in detail. But today's my main topic for today is monitoring, right? Even though we did three different kind of monitoring available, maybe three or four. Sometimes we say different way of monitoring we can do. One is called profiling, a way we can do the monitoring. One with the use of tracers. You can do monitoring things. One way would be log, through which you can do the monitoring, and one of the great way that you can do the monitoring with the metrics. So it is not like this which one is best, which one is not best, right? It is about different context or different use cases. We require some tracer, we require some metrics, we require sometime log. But in our program of this DevOps assembly line, so we are going to learn two different kind of monitoring that we use a lot in all the environments, right? One is log monitoring and one is metrics monitoring. And for the monitoring, the tool that we are going to learn in the future is will be ELK stack. Sometime is also known as Elastic Stack. So that is one tool we are going to learn in the future. So that time I will explain you what actually the use case of the log monitoring. But today I would like to start the topic called metric monitoring. So again, one thing, very small thing, metric monitoring and log monitoring is a different tool. What is the different? I will explain you everything from the zero, even though I will explain you what is monitoring. So today, guys, I would like to start the things from what is monitoring, but I just want to tell you, all right, where we are standing, right? So today I'm going to pick monitoring with respect to metrics. And for the metrics, one of the very great tool, and I believe in the open source world, this is the most demanded tool in the current market, because if you talk about Kubernetes again, one of the great demanding tool for the container management. Similarly, in the monitoring management world, one of the most demanding tool for the monitoring, for the metrics monitoring, it is called Prometheus. 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 So guys, the today's topic would be Prometheus. We are going to learn. So Prometheus is a one tool, is a one software. Okay. For what? For monitoring. But which kind of monitoring? So they are the tool that will do a metrics monitoring for you. Okay, so so today's, guys, my plan is, and this tool is very much important if you go for any of the great core job profiles. 90% in the great profile, or maybe more than 80%, they always want DevOps engineer to be skilled with the Prometheus right tool. Okay, so before I'll jump to Prometheus, or or this particular tool, I would like to first explain you what is monitoring. Then we will move to what is metrics, and then we will I'll show you why Prometheus is so powerful, and it's powerful from the other competitor tools. Right. So that's all we are going to discuss. So today's topic is Prometheus, but before this, let me explain you about the monitoring. So let me start explain you the thing from very zero, in the such a way that you guys might be very new in this monitoring world. So let me start from there. So if you guys talk about any of the lab or any of the industry, technical environment, that's called IT infrastructure. Normally company run their IT infrastructure in their lab, typically known as the data center. So in the data center, guys, if you talk about any of the bigger company, almost all the technological devices and technologies they have. Okay, let's me write something, right? They have some networking devices, let's say some routers or the routers. They have some more networking devices, let's say security devices like firewall, maybe IDS, IPS, multiple things, device switches, they have. So all the kind of networking devices they have. Plus, in the same data center, they have some server running with Linux, some server running with Windows. Or maybe in the same data center, they are running with one server, and inside the server, they are running with the database. So they are the database server. Or maybe in same data center, they are running with, with some kind of virtualization tool, so that they can launch their VM. So some kind of virtualization infrastructure they are running on, maybe like VMware or something like this. They are running on. Okay, or maybe let's say one more example. Maybe they are running with one server, but main thing in this server is they are running with some website or web app. So technically, some kind of app they are running with, or maybe this app may be running with code being written in PHP, and maybe in Ruby, maybe in Python, Java, Go, whatever language they would be. So they are running with. Right. So typically, if you think, guys, in any of the core data center, almost all the domains, respective technologies, tools they are running with. Even though nowadays, because now we moved rather than, because if they run if they run on their physical data center that is been gone by them, so that's called on premises on premises. But nowadays almost all the major things they've been shifted to or migrated to the other data center that is owned by other company, are known as public cloud. So maybe a lot of their services, their databases, their applications running on the cloud, let's say AWS cloud or GCP or Azure cloud, they are running over there. Okay, so my point, guys, here is, right, if you think it is a huge infrastructure, or let me write one more time here. Maybe my a lot of applications, guys, are running inside a container, and this container now may be managed by Kubernetes, or this container may be running by Podman or the Dockers, or maybe some other containers running the other cluster may be managed by Docker, and they are managed by Swarm cluster rather than the Kubernetes. So it is a very you can think it is a very heterogeneous kind of infrastructure, right? Heterogeneous kind of infrastructure, maybe running with web server, Tomcat, JBoss, almost everything they have. Now, point is, guys, here normally normally we manage these devices normally once, right? Okay, we set up some firewall rule once, we launch our database server once, maybe sometime we have to keep on changing the different thing, but mainly main setup or main you guys know the term provisioning, we rarely do. Maybe in a week we do some update patches changes, but a very limited time, or rarely we keep on doing the same thing again and again. Okay, but you know what you have to do, right, every second right, you have to every second keep on checking these guys. Okay, you keep on checking, does your database server running right or not, working properly or not. Okay, you launch your one container using Docker with Swarm, this container is running or not. Okay, does it fail? So you know, guys, if it fail, you guys know the power of Kubernetes. They automatically launch for you. So this Kubernetes will do for you. But why is failed? Okay, why is failed? Maybe this time it's failed. Maybe next time it will again fail. Yeah, obviously Kubernetes again launch for you. But why is failing? Okay, they are failing. Maybe the system where they are running, I told you yesterday, it is called worker node. Maybe they have very limited CPU. Maybe they have very limited RAM. Maybe. Okay, so Kubernetes doesn't check why they are failing. Their duty is to, or they have, RS, you guys know RC, replica set. They will launch for you again. Okay, because it's something failed. But there's nobody, Kubernetes doesn't check why they fail. They have limited CPU, RAM is limited, maybe other things maybe. Or you may launch one operating system on the cloud, operating system on the cloud like AWS. Okay, so maybe this OS is not working. Maybe in this OS you are running with a web server. Maybe that time web server is down. Okay, so who will check, right? Either as a human being, you just go and check by yourself, or somebody will check for you. So I don't want anything to be manual, right? I want everything to be automated. So I want somebody who keep on checking my OS, who keep on checking firewall, who keeping and one of the great example, you know what, if you guys ever work of any programming language, let's say Python, you guys might know a little bit Python, right? So normally in all the languages, normally typically we create a function. In function we write the code. Or normally in one programming file we write multiple functions. Let's say function number 1, function number 2, right? Every function is doing something for you. Maybe let's say first function is printing something for you. Second function is going to database to do the connectivity, load the data, retrieve the data. So maybe third function is sending network packets, something like that. So this program you are running, but you know what happened, maybe your program is working fine, your program is for website, maybe a mobile app, it is normally website, so it is working good and there is no challenge. But last from 1 hour we are facing some issue. Now my client is connecting this program or website or web page, they are having a lot of delay. Initially my website load within a second, Now it take 10 seconds to load, or sometime it fail. So why is fail? Right, why is fail? Okay, why my website is failing? Okay, maybe my program is running slow. Why slow? Like which part of my program? Because program, guys, it not a program is like a program file. Inside the program file you have multiple code. Which line of the code is delay is taking a lot of time? My function 1, function 2, or function 3. So I can go to that level also, and we can check. We can check this function taking only 10 millisecond. This function taking 10 millisecond, but this function that having a database connectivity, they are taking maybe to 10 seconds or 20 seconds. And 20 second, guys, for website page is very big, right? Nobody wait for 20 second for you. So we want somebody who check at that level also, to go to the internal code level and check why is failing. Why is failing. Or maybe my switches router, right, is keep on doing something with the networking, but now from last 1 hour I have very delay in the network traffic. Why is maybe we have more traffic come up, or maybe we have some kind of, some kind of loop or root poisoning and other kind of things we have here. It is happening. So my point, guys, in the bigger environment data center, there are tons of devices, company devices is there, and we have to configure, we have to provision, we have to set up normally once, or maybe in a week or in a month. We keep on changing some maybe thing, right? But as a admin, but as a IT guy, right, as an admin, your duty is to keep on checking what and how they are performing. Because I don't want to give any bad impact to my customers, right? If due to any of the reasons, any of the reasons, if some of the thing not working fine, sometime my entire infrastructure goes down. Because it is not like this, guys. Because you are launching the website, so you have to just concentrate on the website, right? Okay, website is running, but without router, how my client will come to you? If I will not properly configure, how they come to you? If your database server goes down, how your website connect? Or maybe your web server may be running on the virtualization, or maybe Docker. If the Docker cluster goes down, how it work? So all those components is a different tools, different technology managed by different team. Maybe storage guys also there. Okay, they work together, and they work because they make one single product or single project or single applications accessible to the outside world. Okay, so as a IT guys, we want that to keep on eye on everything. Okay, and we want to keep an eye every second, every minute, right? Or I want something like this. If due to any reason, right, my Linux server is going on, and suddenly if I see some spike and CPU, okay, it will be automatically notified to me. Or maybe I just want see one visual, one live on the real time. So I want I just want to keep my eye continuous, just call on the real time, and all these resources or the technology. And as soon as something spike, sudden change, RAM change, something fail, my VM terminated, my applications is delaying, have let's call latency, giving latency to you, right? My IT guys come to be notified, be notified that some issues is happening. And whenever they notify, they contact to their respective team, those guys who create this website, or those guys who maintain a database server, and say, in the database server we are facing some issue, we can see on the real time, right? If you can go and check what is happening. So they will do the further things, or further investigation they will do. But before the investigation, you should know where to investigate. Okay, which component is facing the issue, right? Is facing the issue, which component to monitor. Okay, so my point is, guys, here is, right, it is this complete process that I'm talking about, right? If you want to keep an eye on all the component, why I don't want anything goes down or suddenly spike come up, something becomes slow. So it is not only about down, I don't also want something become slow. So for this, the only thing that you can do is monitoring. So that is the reason, guys, monitoring is such a thing that we have to do continuous, real time, 24-hour in a bigger world, or any of the world actually. You have to keep on monitoring. Okay, that's what my main topic is, right? Monitoring. But here we are going to monitor not the log. We'll discuss the log in upcoming class. We are going to monitor the metrics. So what do you mean by metrics here? Right? So what you would like to monitor? I would like to monitor in the Kubernetes. Okay, because Kubernetes say my first container goes down. It's fail. Why is fail? We don't know. Maybe that particular point in time, we have one more container, container two, and suddenly this container suddenly start using a lot of CPU. Okay, or because they start a lot of CPU, maybe there might be possibility this container goes down, because this concept called OM, right, that we can set out of memory error. There's one concept that we can set, and we can set this OM for container 2 and say if container 2 use more memory, and if they don't have, so this container is very critical for me. So do one thing, there's other container running, just terminate that guy. So for some kind of constraint we have, even though we haven't discussed, but we can set some kind of constraint. Normally in the Linux called C group we can set. So this is not important topic, but yeah, I'm just trying to tell you key that this might be possibility. So Kubernetes will launch again this container for you. There's a good thing about the Kubernetes, but why it's fail? Who will monitor why it's fail? So we want some tool who keep on checking the CPU, why CPU is spiked, or they keep on checking the RAM. Okay, so guys, if you want like to monitor one particular component, why CPU, why is the current utilization of CPU, maybe that particular time, maybe this goes to 99%, maybe above 99%, maybe RAM go to maybe 90% or 98% or 90% consumption or utilization. All right, so for checking the CPU percentage, taking the total RAM free, maybe sometime my website goes down, maybe my website is accessed by clients, and maybe there is some network bandwidth issue, maybe sudden traffic come up, right? Sudden traffic come up, and because maybe some unwanted traffic come up also, maybe somebody is doing DOS attack, all right, and because of the DOS attack, my network goes down, or this makes my website goes down, or maybe becomes slow. Okay, so why your website slow? So we have to maybe we have to check one more metric. So these guys think are known as metrics. So for this we have to might check network metric, network bandwidth metric, CPU metric, RAM metric. Okay, so what is metric? Metric is just a way to collect the information about your resources, maybe network, maybe CPU, maybe RAM, maybe buffer, maybe cache, maybe data memory, maybe lots of things also. So that's what the way to collect the information. And how we collect? Obviously, we collect using the monitoring. But how is different from log, right? If so, guys, this is the great example to understand the difference between log and the metric. So metrics duty is just to collect that initially 1 minute ago, my network bandwidth utilization just was only 10%. But current time, on the real time, I can say just real time, just current time, right? My network bandwidth goes 99%. So who will give this figure to you? Who will give this figure to you? Okay, metrics is the one who gives this figure to you, or this information to you, or collect this information to you for you. But why it goes 99%? Right? What happened actually? Who came that particular time, or who is coming this particular time? Right? Who is doing DOS attack? Maybe who is sending unwanted packets? Right? That's metrics never tell you. This metrics never tell you. For this, we have to go and do some more deep dive analysis, right? We have to go more deep dive, and we have to analyze what is happening. Sometimes this deep dive analysis is called root cause analysis we have to do. And to find out why sudden increase, who is coming, maybe some DOS attack or maybe some other reason, right? So who is coming? That time we have to go for the log. So by using the log, we come to know, okay, hey, this IP is coming, this client IP is, this hacker IP is attacking my site, so we can take the further actions, right? So guys, this is not my main topic today. So log we will discuss in very detail when I go for ELK or Elastic Stack, right? It's one different tool. But a lot of guys might sometimes confuse metrics look like a log, but is a different thing. So metric is just you can think it is a first place where they notify you as an admin that something is messy, right? Something is fishy here. Just go and check why it's happening, why it's happening. Right? So metric will give this information to you, and which is very important, because in the bigger world there's not only one database server running, maybe hundreds of data servers are running, thousands of Linux servers running, right? We can't manually go and check, right, every servers. So we want somebody who keep on monitoring what their metrics. And now what do you want to monitor? That your choice. You want to monitor CPU, you want to monitor swap, you want to monitor RAM, you want to monitor hard disk, storage, partition, file system, right? Tons of things. Network. But even though if you talk about network, there's again tons of things come in the network, maybe UDP or TCP stack or the buffer, the cache, and hundreds of things is there. So what exactly you want to monitor? Okay, so whatever the part you would like to monitor of that server, or maybe let's say in this example, I would like to monitor about this function. Okay, this function. Okay, so I would like to monitor, even though I have one program, inside one programming file, there's 3 functions written in Python or maybe in Java, and I want these 2 functions to be monitored. And guys, very interesting. You can check even inside your programming file, maybe in any of the language you guys are working on, maybe Go also, you can go and check, right, when this program is going on, and when this function run, right, how much time it consuming. Or maybe this function, maybe it is running in the Java. So in the Java, if you know a little bit Java, they consume heap size something, right? So how much heap size been consumed by this program, or how many memory is been consumed by this program. Also, not program is covered is by this function. Or maybe you might go to statement level also, right? This statement, this 3 statement. So how much time is consumed by this statement? So according to my past record, this statement always consume 0.01 millisecond. But maybe same statement, right, currently on the real time consuming 10 seconds. Huge difference, 1,000 times difference we have. Why? Okay, maybe this statement is connected to the database goes down, maybe some network bandwidth, network issue, loop, I don't know, tons of things. But who will tell you where's the issue? Where's the issue, right? Who will tell you? For this, we have to monitor. Or what kind of monitoring we have to do? We have to do metrics. We have to retrieve the metrics. Okay, and guys, for this, there's one more term we normally use, right? If you take the same example here, right? If you say you are running with one program, let's say in Python language, or what you would like to monitor this program. Not only this program, right? You want to monitor every function of this program also. Okay, so if you do so, this kind of process is known as instrumentation. So we are instrumenting, right, our program. Program is normally also known as app. So we are instrumenting our app. Okay, so monitoring something is especially for retrieving the or collecting the metrics, right? Metrics are known as instrumentation. Okay, so what you would like to instrument? Okay, you would like to instrument, let's say my server is running on the cloud. So do you want to instrument your AWS cloud completely, or you just want to instrument only the app running on the cloud? Okay, or for example, your container is running, so you want to instrument your app running in the container, the code, or you want to instrument your complete Docker engine, or you want to instrument complete Kubernetes? At what level you want to instrument or you want to monitor? So I think, guys, we'll discuss a lot of different level of instrumenting. All right, so that's what. Okay, so this term is normally known as instrumenting. So if you say I would like to monitor only my app, okay, only my app. Okay, so this is called I'm instrumenting my app. It's called app instrumentation. Okay, and this is also known as, right, this because, and you know why you're monitoring your app? You are monitoring your app so that you keep on checking, so there will be no issue in the performance. There is no issue in the performance. Performance will be always be great. Okay, because something happened, so I'll come to know there's some issue in this function, on this code, with some connectivity. We will go and rectify, or we will troubleshoot that part. Okay, so that is the reason, guys, there's one term also available in the market. It's called APM, application monitoring. For what? Performance. So application performance monitoring. So it's a one term available, because for almost for all the company, the one of the main critical thing for them is the application, right? Even though firewall is important, security is important, Linux server is important, database is important, right? But application is the most important thing. All right, they have it. So that is reason they have one extra term is there in the market called APM, and we have a lot of dedicated tools available in the market for the APM. So one of the great tool I just want to share you, just for knowledge sake, is called App Dynamics. Is one of the great tool. It's very famous for because of the APM. So one of the great tool available in the market. We have New Relic, we have Datadog, right? So tons of tool available for the APM, right? Just for application monitoring. I worked heavily with App Dynamics, so it's so powerful tool. Now, after some year ago, this tool has been you know get by Cisco. Now it's a part of Cisco, but it is one of the great startup and one of the front line tool for almost for all the companies. So now it is a part of Cisco. There's a different point altogether. So guys, technically monitoring is such a great field. Almost in all the domain we need a monitoring. Almost in all the domain we need a monitoring. So for every domain, they have their own monitoring tool. For storage, they have their own monitoring tool. For databases, Oracle, they have their own monitoring tool. For applications, like they have the APM monitoring tool, right? For security devices, firewall, they have their own monitoring tool, right? Available in the market. Okay, so they have their own specialized tool. For cloud, they have their own monitoring tool. But there's very limited tool available in the market that can monitor everything. Okay, so very limited tool available in the market that they can monitor your router devices also, firewall also, Linux, Windows Server also, Mac also, database also, all the version tool, container, Kubernetes, Docker, Podman, AWS Cloud, Azure, app, PHP, Java, Python, web server, Tomcat server. So very limited tool available in the market who can monitor almost every kind of technology, every kind of devices. For what? For technically this topic is about metrics. So here I'm talking about the metrics monitoring. And one that tool is Prometheus. So Prometheus is a tool. It is for metrics monitoring, not for log. For log, we have ELK, and one of the my favorite tool is Splunk, because I work again hugely on the Splunk. But it's come with a huge license, so open source tool ELK is good. But for the metrics monitoring, I'll explain you the difference, but I will explain you more difference when I go for log. So if you go for metrics monitoring, means I would like to retrieve just RAM, CPU, network bandwidth, right? Something like this. So very simple examples, right? then Prometheus is a tool that is it is for monitoring almost everything, whatever technology you guys know and what I know, right? We can monitoring everything. So whatever come in your mind, right? There is 99.9% chances you can monitor from Prometheus. That's the great thing. Okay, but you might have some more tool in your mind. You also think they also do metrics monitoring. Let's say one of the very common tool it might come in your mind in Negois, all right? But Negotiations come with very some lots of limitations, so we can't compare Prometheus with Negoes. If you want to ask me the difference, I will definitely share it with you. I also work with Negoes also, so we will discuss. So right now I'm not discussing this part right now. So and that is one of the reason, right? Because there is no as such bigger competitor for the Prometheus in the market. So this is the one of the top open source tool available. I'm talking about purely the open source one. So open source to available for the metrics monitoring, right? From the cloud to all the environment, you can monitor. So this is a high level thing, guys. So I started with the monitoring. So monitoring is the one of the most critical thing, and how it help you in the DevOps world. I will explain you at the time when I explain the complete life cycle of the DevOps. That time I will explain you, right? This is the one of the backbone for the DevOps journey or the DevOps life cycle. So that time I will explain you. But right now, what I'm trying to explain you, without monitoring, yeah, right? Without monitoring, right? Nobody can take the decision. What is happening? Or without the monitoring, nobody know what is happening. And if you don't know what is happening or what happened, all right, you can't take the decision. Okay, what should we do next? And where we just go and rectify? Why this issue is coming up? Let me give very fast example, right, to give you a sense of what I'm talking about. Let's say very high level architecture I'm talking about. Okay, if you if you talk about, let's say one website is going on, like this Facebook website. So for as a client, it's so simple. We just go and refresh and we got the website, right? So it is very simple. But if you talk about the underline or behind the scene architecture of the Facebook, so it might be something like this. So right now we are sitting here. We are sitting here. We are at the internet. So when you open this site, so your request go to one of the device of the Facebook. Typically, the first device that you hit on at the Facebook is normally firewall. Then after firewall, normally device you hit is depend upon the infrastructure. Infrastructure is your router or the router there. Then they hit to some of the device, maybe like say switches, or maybe some more devices maybe come in the between. Then you hit to their front end web server. Okay, then behind the scene, the site is running in some language, so they have the internal app server. In the app server, they are running their web pages, and then web page is getting the data from their databases. Database is storing their data, right, in their storage. So guys, these are very high level terms I'm giving you. Behind the scene, there are lots of things. They have the one cache server also here. They have the load balancers here. They have the message queues here, microservice kind of setup they have done, right? Storage bin, again, storage cluster. So it's a huge setup, right? And you know what, guys, when you hit the Facebook, you can see the one single site. But this data, what are you seeing right now here? Maybe this data, what are you seeing right now here, right? This data is coming from the storage. Okay, from the storage. But for us, us, we can see the one single view. But when you request your request go in this way: firewall, then router, then switches, then web server, cache server, app server, database. They load and they give to you. And the biggest challenge, you know what, guys, biggest challenge is in almost all the environment, this firewall, their IPS, their IDS, the security devices managed by security teams, SecOps. Routers, switches, these are managed by very different team altogether. Maybe IT teams or operations team, the guys are managing. This app server, web server is managed by maybe different IT guys or app guys. Database is managed by different team altogether in the company. There's the DBA, DBA guys. Okay, and the storage guys is again, we have different team, that's called storage guys. But if you talk about Facebook, it's not again only one database running. So if you see guys in the top search, if you search behind the scene, behind the scene, they are running Cassandra. When you would use the friend request, they're using giraffe, graph databases. This data may be stored in the Oracle. So hundreds of different databases they're also using. So let us focus on the main point. So what I'm talking about guys here is, this is a very different team, and this is database team, very different team. Now my point is guys, to everybody, if you can tell me, right, my question to everybody is, let's say this is a very simple infrastructure we have. Even though you don't have to construct, just this is the very high level I'm talking about, right? Let's say till now, right, last 1 hour back, my client is accessing my site very properly. There's no challenge. There will be no challenge at all. They are accessing my site very properly. Within a millisecond the site open. But from last 1 hour, all of my client is facing the issue. They complain you. They send the complaint. They send the trigger to you, right, and say your website is not opening. It takes a lot of time, maybe 1 minute, 2 minutes. Okay, so normally take less than 1 second, but last from 10 minutes or 1 hour, it takes maybe 2 minutes or 3 minutes or 5 minutes. Is too very high, right? Okay, so my question guys here is, right, as as a IT guys, okay, or technical guy, okay, how you find where is the issue, right? Or let's say you are the chief manager or leader of this project, right? So how you come to know, or the owner of this project, maybe how you come to know where the issue, why my site goes down, does we have issue in the network, right? So this guy will contact to these operations guys and say, I feel there's some network issue, if you can check. And you know what normally what happen in the world, they normally investigate, but maybe not, they won't investigate in detail, and they say, no, from my side there's no issue, everything's going good. Then this chief and owner contact DB guys and say, I think there's an issue at your end, can you check? They say, no, my end is also good, my database is working good, there's no challenge, we're proper. I check my RAM and CPU. I check my monitoring tool. I have my own monitoring tool for databases. So I check all the metrics for my graph, visuals, or other way, and my number of memory, RAM, CPU consumption, everything is good. There is no challenge. So is the issue in the storage? Again, it's the same issue. There's a different team, right? And they said, we use our monitoring tool, everything is going good. So you know guys, the challenge is, right, nobody is ready to taking up the blame, right? Maybe I'm not saying they won't check, but they might be, some of the things they miss. Okay, so there's, this is called silos, right? This is that silos between a team, this silos between a team, this silos between a team. The storage guy doesn't know how the monitoring guy is checking, or monitoring guy doesn't know how my security guy is checking, and what they're doing, who those guys. Okay, so normally sometimes we need, because we don't need a specialized guys in this world, but because the silos. Okay, how you come to know where the challenge, how you find it? Okay, so that is a reason guys, right? One of the the great practice that we suggest, right? One of the great practice that we suggest, technically in this term market world, it is called design pattern. So this design pattern is one concept altogether, right? Even though if you search in the market, it's called design pattern for the technological world. So this is one term, all right, subject actually we have. Okay, so one of the design pattern highly suggest, and they say, we know they have done storage guys, we have one operations guys or network operations guy, network engineers, right? We require some specialized guys. Obviously, they have their own team. But for the monitoring perspective, okay, we have to work. In a one single plane of glass. Single plane of glass means we have to just take one single complete view. Okay, means we require some monitoring team they have, and they should have access, right? They can monitor everything. They can also monitoring this one, they can also monitoring this one, they can also monitoring uh, this one. Okay, so if they monitor everything, so they can very easily go and check with a single view. Where is the challenge, because they can see on the real time when this particular client come when this particular client come, right? They are sending the request, they are sending the packet, right? Send the packet. And now as for my last historical record I have, last time firewall took 0.11 millisecond, same time now also they're doing the same second. My router take 1 second, again they take 1 second. My web server normally for doing this process they take 1 second, again they take 1 second. But my modern will say I can see, because I have single plane of glass, means single plane, I can completely view the entire infrastructure, right? So what can I see? I can see this guy is consuming every time 0.1 second, but this time they are consuming 10 seconds for this request. It means this is the uh, there is a issue we have. Okay, there is an issue we have, and this is our bottleneck for this particular issue. So this modern team can contact to this database guys, and even though they can also monitor at the very granular level, right? In database we have a schema, or we have database, we have tables. Which tables we are getting the issue, which part of the storage they're getting the issue, right? We can go to, and maybe because CPU or other things, we can go to a that level also. Okay, we can contact the DB guys, and they will fix the issue for you, or maybe they do whatever they have been instructed, they will do for you. Okay, so that is it, one of the reason why we have one centralized team for monitoring. So they have their own place. It's called operation center they have. So we have some center for SOC, this called security operations center. We have some center for NOC, network operations center. So there's a high level core duty they do. So one good design pattern say is always create one single plane of glass, or single plane where is the completely entire data center entire data center that I was talking about is been visible. Maybe your application running in the cloud, or Docker, Kubernetes, anywhere, whatever you are using, we can monitoring everything. Okay, then taking the decision will be very faster. We can check very faster, and we can ask them. They will do whatever they how they update. Because why we need a fast solution, because we are in the DevOps world, we are in the rapid in the fast world, agile world, right? I don't want any negative feedback from the client. If something is not working, we have to fastly rectify it, solve it, remove it, terminate this, launch a new one. But where to remove, where to launch, where to rectify it, right? How you guys know? Okay, that's the biggest challenge. So in this bigger world, even though if you talk about just your laptop also, right? If your laptop becomes slow, again, single laptop is very harder sometimes more to monitor, right? Why it's become slow? But if you guys think about the bigger like infrastructure like Google, Facebook, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, Bank of America, HSB Bank, how biggest infrastructure they have across the world, they have huge data centers, right? So we want, maybe you have multiple data center, right? Your client is going to data center 1 and there they are facing the issue. In data center 2 they are not facing the issue. So till the time we might route to data center 2, and let's go and find out, go more deep dive into data center 1 rack. So tons of thing is there, right? So my oral summary, guys, I think you guys might understood, right? Why monitoring is so critical. Monitoring is so critical, right? It's a very important point as a DevOps engineer. Even though um, this topic normally we always underestimate, right? We in the DevOps world, normally we learn Docker and Kubernetes and these tools. We learn a lot, and we never improve our skills on the monitoring tool. And this is the one of the worst thing we do, right? Because Kubernetes, you have to launch one time, right? That's all. They'll do their duty. Monitoring is the one thing that every second you have to do, right? And by using the monitoring, we can take the decision. So what happened in the future, we can take the decision. How can we plan for the future? So whatever happened in the future, we collect all the data, we create one report, and from the report, we might give to our data scientist guys, machine learning guys. They will predict what will happen in the future. So accordingly, they can plan your infrastructure and tons of things you guys can do. So here, guys, in this training, there are a lot of guys who has done machine learning under me. So they also might getting the idea. So these are again one of the great resource where you can get the data, and the data whatever you get, it becomes your data set. And then all the skills of data, deep learning and machine learning you guys learn, you can utilize here. So that's the different point altogether. So let's focus on the main part today. Till now, my main emphasis on monitoring. That was my main emphasis. And for monitoring, we are going to only collect the metrics. Again, metric means, right? So if I open my task manager, and if I open this, so this is one of the metrics. CPU utilization 34%, 65, 60, 41%. So these are the metrics I'm talking about. Network bandwidth, Wi-Fi, right? So this is the number of kilobytes we are getting right now, right? So we have to collect the metrics, and for us, who will collect the metrics for us? Because after you collect the metrics, then you can monitor. Without the metrics or without the information, you can't monitor. So what is the Prometheus? Prometheus is just a tool who collect the metrics for you. And after you collect the metrics, you can then do monitoring. Okay. So it means Prometheus is just a metric tool or metric collection tool. Okay. And after you have the metric, do you want to monitor or do you don't want to monitor? That would be your choice. So if you want to monitor, you can monitor it. And for monitoring, there is again a lot of way available for the monitoring. So maybe from the Prometheus also we can do the monitoring, but Prometheus has actually been created to just collect the metrics. For the monitoring, we use other tool, different tool. One of the great tool that we always use with Prometheus for monitoring, that will give very beautiful visuals, right? Graphs, real-time graphs. They show you, that is called Grafana. So that will be next topic, guys. So someday I would like to first train you on the Prometheus, and after Prometheus collect all the information and metrics, then those information we will send to a tool called one other tool called Grafana that we will discuss in the future. Okay, and there we can very easily create a very beautiful live visuals and all things, right? So just very high level, if you search like Grafana, right? And if you see the images, so this kind of visuals you can create, right? So if you see here by this example here, so this is the one of the visuals in the Grafana you can create. So in the real time, you can see here this time percentage in the real time, right? So they show you this kind of visuals, whatever you would like to monitor. So if you have the visual, you can monitor, right? I can see my percent of CV 47% is go up, go down on the real time, or maybe let's say this one, that this is real time. This meter is going up and down, number of requests going up and down. Okay, so that's called monitoring, right? But for monitoring, you need this kind of beautiful visuals, so more interactive, more clearly visible. Who will create this visual so that we can monitor? Okay, Grafana will do for you. But for those monitoring, what we need data, we need information, we need a metrics. Who will collect the metrics for you? Prometheus. Okay, so technically Grafana is at all the different tool from different community. Prometheus is a very different tool from the different community. So for someday, right, I will first make you trained in all the aspects of the Prometheus, and lots of example, guys, I'm going to discuss in this example how to integrate with the database, how to integrate with the Kubernetes, how to integrate with the Docker, how to integrate with the Python language, like a APM tool. Okay, how to integrate with the web server. So there are lots of examples, practical examples I'm going to show you. But after you guys be understand the cloud also, I'm a hybrid cloud, I think almost everybody is doing. So that time also I will explain you how to integrate with the AWS cloud, other clouds also, maybe OpenStack cloud also. So almost every kind of practicals I'm going to show you. But before this, before this, let me first uh, start with the main topic for today. So today, the main topic is Prometheus. Prometheus. This is the main topic. So the role of Prometheus is to go and collect the information, okay, about something, and that something is called metrics. One of them example is total utilization of your RAM on current time, or something like this. Right? So there's a one example here. So Prometheus is a one tool I already uh, told you guys. This is the one thing. So first, before guys we go for the practical, and before we set up the Prometheus, so my plan is, guys, to set, because it's a tool, and for installing this tool we require some operating system. So I'm going to use this particular operating system, Red Hat version 8, for installing the Prometheus. Okay, even though Prometheus support in Windows also, in Mac also, but I'm showing you in Linux. But normally in the real world we install in the Linux system only. So that's what I'm going to show you. So what would be our practical, right? So let me explain you our practical so that you will have some more new vocabulary. So our setup would be something like this. I'm going to use two operating systems. It doesn't matter this operating system running in the Docker or in the cloud or in your VM in your laptop. It doesn't matter. And I am going to install Prometheus in this system. And the system where you install Prometheus is known as server. This is my pro. You can also use the prom word, server for us. So this is what my plan is. So this will be my prom server. Okay, and I have one more system with me, one more VM with me. So what I would like to do, so this is my VM, right? So what you would like to monitor the entire VM means entire operating system, and normally operating system or VM is also known as node. So do you want to monitor the entire node? So I can say I would like to do node instrumentation. So node instrumentation or instrumenting you would like to do? Yes. Or do you want to monitor only only database, or you want to monitor only Docker, or only this function? So what you would like to instrument? But whatever you would like to instrument or you would like to monitor, okay, that is known as target. So this is the terminology of Prometheus. Okay, target means which part you would like to monitor, which part you would like to monitor or you would like to instrument. Okay, so for example, in my case, I would like to monitor this VM, this VM. So this is my next VM. So let me start this VM. So this VM I would like to monitor. So do you want to monitor entire VM? So I can say yes, So I would like to do node instrument. But maybe there might be chances you have one VM running, entire VM running. Inside this VM, we have one operating system, obviously. Inside this operating system, you are running with one web server. Okay, so web server, we can say web service. So now here, what you would like to monitor? You would like to monitor the entire VM. When I say entire VM, then the complete RAM come up, complete CPU come up, your complete hard disk come up, right? Other things might also come up. Your operating system name come up. Maybe not name, we don't have to monitor, but yeah, maybe all the things come up. So that time you can say node instrumenting. But do you want to only monitor this particular service, because this service is one kind of process or program? So then we can say this is my service instrumentation. So you want to monitor service. Service might be web server, service might be database server, service might be mail server, which you would like to instrument. Or maybe there might be one more example. Okay, one more example here. So let's say you have one entire operating system running on. Inside the OS, again, this is a complete VM or your complete laptop, you can think. Okay, let's say maybe because a lot of guys might comfortable with the word laptop. Okay, so this is the complete OS, and on the top of OS, one entire web server running. You guys know Apache web server, we have used multiple times. And inside the web server, there's one web pages we have in PHP language. So PHP code we have. So right now the three things is running. OS is also running, web services is also running, PHP code is also running. So do you want to only monitor PHP code, PHP program, PHP function, how they're performing, how much time they're consuming, which kind of issues they are having, where they're consuming more RAM and CPU, connectivity issues, right? Do you want to monitor only this PHP code? And PHP code actually is a part of the app. So this is called app instrumenting or app instrumentation. Okay, so what you would like to monitor? Okay, so here I already given you multiple things, anything you can monitor. Okay, you can monitor. So, but here in this case, whatever you monitor, guys, whatever you monitor, that part is known as target. So here my target is not complete VM. My target is only web services. Here my target is not complete VM or the web server. My target is only my PHP code. This is my target. Okay, so why it is important? Because you have to tell to your server who is your target. Who is your target? Okay, so they will only because what Prometheus do, they only collect the information. Okay, so if you tell the Prometheus this is my target, so they will collect only the information of that part. Okay, or information, they will collect the metrics of that target only. Okay, so which target you would like to collect the information? But for collecting, guys, now how they collect, there's the main thing. Okay, so there's two choices. Either if you would like to collect the information of this VM, for example, this is my one VM. Okay, so if somebody would like to collect the information of this VM, this entire VM, then I say I would like to monitor my entire VM, or I can say I would like to do node instrumentation. Same thing. So what do you like to would like to monitor? For example, let's say CPU, let's say RAM. Okay, so point is, guys, Prometheus duty is to collect the information metrics about this node. So now how they collect, because this is the different IP. Let's say this IP might be 101, this IP might be 100. How they connect? So there's two mechanism available, right? One is, okay, in this VM we run, because guys, you know, when whatever you do in the operating system, right, you have to run program. Okay, so what I want, if this is my VM and I want somebody in this VM collect my RAM information. For example, you guys might know one command here. So in the Linux, if you want to see the current time RAM utilization in MB, so this is the command we have. So this command show you this is my total RAM, and this is the currently used. It is the free. So they show you. Okay. So right now I am sitting in this particular laptop, having, for example, I have two network card by chance, so 101. So I am sitting on IP 101. This is my 101. So if you would like to send this information to IP, let's say this might be 100. Okay, who will send? So somebody has to run the free have an M command here. After they run, right, they get this output. After that they get output, then using networking, they have to send this information to the Prometheus, because if Prometheus doesn't collect the information, they can't do other things. Okay, so for this, in IP 101 we have to run one program. This program collect and send, and because they are sending, so this is called, or this mechanism is called a push mechanism. So they have to push to the Prometheus. Okay, so this is the mechanism they can use. But normally in other monitoring tool, 99% we always use push mechanism. And for push mechanism, we have to run some program here. And normally this kind of program that we run on the node are known as agent program or agent. Okay, so in this program we have some kind of limitations. All right, so I will discuss you guys in the future, not right now, because I just wanted to show you how to set up a Prometheus. So we'll discuss in the future. But Prometheus guys work in different way. Okay, how they work. All right, how they work. Prometheus. Okay, in the Prometheus we have to run a program here. This again, you can use the term called agent here. We have to run the program. This program is keep on collecting the information, okay, from your system like RAM and CPU, but they won't push. Okay, what they do behind the scene, right? Prometheus prompt come to you, to this program, and when a prompt come to a program, they will give it to you. It's prompt going and downloading the information. This could pull. Okay, what is the benefit of this, how is working, I will discuss in very detail at the time of, I'll show you the demo. But in prom, they are downloading the information from your target. Your target would be a complete node, target would be any services, target would be any app, network, cloud, whatever you have. They go whenever they want. Normally the typical interval they use is, right, it's not every second they go. The typical interval is every 15 seconds they go, but you can increase and decrease. So there's a typical by default interval we use for pull. Pull means you can think as a download, the download. So technically what Prometheus is doing, every 15 seconds they are going there, and what are the agent they have there. Okay, they ask the agent or this program that whatever information you collected, just give to me, I would like to download. That's how it is working. Okay, and this concept guys, this concept, or I say I say this program they are running here, typically in other monitoring world it is known as agent, but here in this here it is known as job. Okay, so instead we use the word called agent. In this Prometheus world, this agent or this program is known as the job. Okay, so Prometheus contact to the job, or you can, rather than I say Prometheus contact to the job, I say Prometheus run the job, and they go there, connect to this program or the job or the target, and they download it here. So giving the job name to agent is not perfect. The job has a little bit more meaning. We'll discuss when I show you the demo. You will understand very easily. But this is a high level discuss I'm doing. But as we go for demo, you understand more in depth what is happening. right? One more time I would like to show you, then we will move to the setup. So after after Prometheus go to this system, they download the data, or data is what data, right? And if you have the data, you have to store this data somewhere, right? So Prometheus store this data in one storage. And wherever the Prometheus store this data, this is known as database. So Prometheus store everything in their own internal database. Internal database they are storing. But what they are storing, that is a very important thing. What they are installing, right? Prometheus is sorry, what they are storing in the database. So Prometheus is storing, okay, right, whatever they get from the agent program. Okay, so whatever agent is collecting, maybe RAM, CPU, they are storing those. So Prometheus is not one who go to your target system and contact to this agent program and say, I don't want RAM, I want a CPU. No, it is not like this. Whatever the program is collecting, right, is collecting, right, they are giving to the Prometheus. This is one thing. Okay, but one more thing Prometheus will do for you. Okay, so before this, let me tell you one more small thing, very small thing, right? It is not happening sometimes, like it look like it is not happening. There's a program is keep on running for some second, like 15 seconds, and they keep on collecting all the 15-second data. Okay, and when Prometheus come, they give all the 15-second data. It is not like this. Okay, how it is happening? Okay, whenever let me change the color. Whenever Prometheus come to you and ask you that, hey, agent program, I come to you now. What I want, you run yourself, and whatever information right now you have, tell me your current RAM situation, tell me your current CPU, tell me your current network bandwidth, show me the current status. Okay, collect right now, I'm waiting for you, and then send to me. Then I will download and store in my database, in my storage. That is a reason, right? Prometheus is meant for real-time monitoring, because in the real time they are going every 15 second, 1 second, you can change the time, right? And they are doing for you. Okay, this is one thing. Second important thing is, guys, because Prometheus is downloading data on the real time or pulling the data on the real time, it means they know their current time. Prometheus know this, the current time is night 9 p.m. 58 minute or some second. They know. So what Prometheus do, and that is the most interesting thing, right? Whatever Prometheus collect, they store this information, let's say in database, in something like in this kind of table. So what they store something like this, that I went through this particular VM. Let's say this VM is node 1. I went to node 1. Okay, and what I collected the information of the current memory. So I collected the information, current RAM, how much RAM is free. Okay, how much RAM is free. Okay, but I also know the time also, because I am the one who collected, so I know what time I collected. So they store the time also here, exact time, at what time they collected and what time, because this is a real time, so they store the time here. So finally, in this way, they keep on storing. So again, they go after 15 seconds, again they create one more record. Again they say, this is my node 1. Again, this particular point in time, my RAM free is this one. Let's say maybe this time my RAM free was like 10. Now it might be my RAM free is maybe 20 or something like this. At what time? At this time. So they keep on going every 15 seconds and keep on retrieving this information. Okay, and guys, whenever you keep on going and retrieving the information on the real time, first of all on the real time, and wherever you're storing the information with the information, so technically RAM free is my information, and how much RAM is free actually is my metrics. Okay, so these is my informations. These is my information, but you're storing the information with that particular point in time. So this kind of database are known as time series database. Time series database is also known as TSDB, time series database. Okay, so technically Prometheus store their data in a database, and that database is called time series database. And if you're time series database, you can do lots of things, right, with this data, right? Lots of things you can do, right? So if you see this graph, maybe if you see this CPU, so in the down that this is time, and the top this is CPU percentage load. So you can see this kind of line graph. So every second, every millisecond or maybe 15 seconds, you keep on checking, right, how is going up and down, going up and down. So if you want to see this kind of graph, maybe this kind of graph, right? It is possible if you have data with the time. So I can go back, I can see the time, what happened. Maybe somebody client has requested 2 hours ago that I am facing the issue, but you have this ticket come to you right now, but you want to check what happened that particular time. So you have the data in your database, right? Where in the storage, you can just go back 2 hours ago and check what was the reason why that client faced the issue. So I don't want this issue will come again. So let me go back and let me check what is the issue happening that time. So I can go and check that particular time. So all the time I've recorded. So that particular time I'll go and check. Okay, that time the RAM is very high utilized, or CPU, other things. I retrieve the metrics. After retrieve metrics, I analyze. I'll tell you guys how to analyze, and you can accordingly you can take the actions. So same won't happen again in the future. Something like this. So this is the way they are storing. And especially, guys, I just want to tell you one is information here. Those guys who are there with me in my MLOps training, machine learning training. So in the machine learning, there is one more new topic come up in this week, very advanced topic, part of deep learning, and the topic is called RNN, recurrent neural network. So this topic, guys, is more about time series. So you can use this Prometheus skills and this data set to do very great analytics or the future prediction on the time series database. So the integration of Prometheus with this RNN would be very great if you would like to do. So that's the information I just want to show you, only for the machine learning guys or the guy who know DL or RNN, recurrent neural network. Right? So that's the main thing. So technically, finally, if I conclude whatever we have learned, if I conclude, so Prometheus is just a tool, and the only duty is Prometheus is to collect the metrics and store in their time series database. That's all. That is the duty of the Prometheus. That's all. There is nothing else. But yeah, they give you some extra thing to you to test. So they give you one simple website or web UI. Through this, over this, you can write some query, and this UI website will go and contact to the database, and you can retrieve the information, right? What happened in the future, past, at what this time, all the things you can go and check by writing some query. So Prometheus has their own query language. So guys, if anybody work on any database, normally we use SQL query language there. Prometheus has their own language. This is called PromQL, Prometheus query language. So using this language, we can do some query and ask. We can ask because this is the real time they are fetching. So this I can ask Prometheus, can you tell me what is the current utilization of node 1? because the real time they're fetching, so they tell you, yeah, this is the current utilization of node 1. Or can you tell me right now node 1 is shut down or started? So they can tell me. If they have connectivity, they can say start is not working, or maybe is up or down. Or can you tell me this particular app, this particular web server, how what is the current status of the server? Or maybe can you tell me from last 2 hours, what is the total bandwidth being transferred or network being transferred? For last 20 hours or 24 hours, total number of clients come to me, total number of aggregate bytes transfer, how many 404 error come up, right? How many type of, maybe some kind of DOS query we can write, DOS attack will happen. So almost everything you can query. And learning this query is so simple, right? If you guys know SQL, it is simpler than SQL, right? I'll explain you how to learn this query. But this query work only if you have the data in the storage. Obviously, if you don't have the data, you won't able to do the query. Okay, and because your data is keep on coming on the real time, so you can query also on the real time. You can see the real time status, what is happening behind the scene. So guys, there's one dedicated topic, PromQL. I'll explain you from very zero. A lot of different queries or advanced complex query I will explain you. And after time, after you've been be so much trained in the PromQL, how to query, okay, then would be the great time to jump to the Grafana. Jump to the Grafana, where it is this Grafana tool, because Grafana is just a graphical tool. So if you guys see, I don't know it is not visible or not, but if you see, if I open this image, so this is a Grafana will give you this visuals, graphical, all the thing for you. But if you see the top, you can see the metric here. After metrics, you can see some text. Okay, this text is PromQL query. Okay, even though it look like maybe very complex, but it's so simple. You can maybe we might learn today also, whatever it is written there, format. So this query. So this query, because of this query, we collect the data from database. After we collect the data, Grafana is this Grafana tool. They create these visuals. And if you get this visual, using this visual, what we can do? Monitoring. So sometimes it says that Prometheus is a monitoring tool, but it is not, because they are collecting the data. The data will help us for monitoring. That's the right way to say. Okay, and how to retrieve the data from the Prometheus database? Using this query, and this query is your PromQL query. That I will explain you from very zero. Even this query, whatever they write, is again pretty simple. There's no so much complexity. Maybe if we have time, we can learn at least till at this level also today. Okay, so this is the way it is working. So guys, this is the high level architecture of the Prometheus. But as we go forward, you guys will be very much linked this part. Okay, so let me do very faster. Let me do this setup. So this system would be my Prometheus server. So this is my Red Hat system. You can do with in Windows also, but I suggest to do in Red Hat. Okay, and for installing Prometheus, you have to download the Prometheus. So it's pretty straightforward to download. So if you search for Prometheus, download. Okay, so the first link you'll get from the Prometheus site. Okay, from here you can download and which operating system you would like to download. So these are the OS they support: Windows, Linux, and Mac, and AIX also. So I'm looking for Linux. So if you go here, this is a Prometheus for Linux. So I'm downloading for Linux. So just click and download this guy from here. Okay, 60 MB in size. So I already downloaded, but you can download from here. Okay, so let me share. Okay, download. So it is there in my system already, right? Yeah. So by the time it starts, so let me give one more very fast, quick name. So if you guys see my right current setup, so let me give very clean diagram. So it will be clearly visible how what we are going to do. So in my case, I have two entire node or the VM. Okay. And here I'm going to install Prometheus server, and this is the node that I would like to collect the information. I would like to monitor, you can say in this way also. I would like to monitor. So because my plan is to monitor the entire node, so this is called node instrumentation that we have to do. For this, we have to run one program here. At that program, typically known as agent, but here, but here in the Prometheus world, this program is technically known as exporter. So it is not a job, guys. It is exporter. Job again is linked to this part only. I will explain you in a minute. So it is not exactly the job. I will link you in a minute what exactly the job is. So this program here is not known. Normally in the other world it is known as agent, but here this program is known as exporter. What exporter duty is? Okay, whatever the code we have in the exporter is a kind of program. They collect all those information from the system like RAM, CPU, and that's all. And wherever Prometheus come to this program or the exporter, that point in time, whatever data they have in the system, they give to it. Okay, so that would be our plan. So my plan is, and that is a reason if you go to the same site of Prometheus. Okay, so this is the software I am downloading. This software is for Prometheus server that I am installing in this particular IP address, IP100. So IP100 in my case would be Prometheus server. Okay, but in IP, this is the another VM I have 101. So here I have to install one agent program, and for the agent program, you will see some here. If you see the name exporters, okay, even though there's a detailed list of agents or the exporters available, right? There's the detailed list you have. So do you want to monitor MySQL, PostgreSQL, Redis, MongoDB? Do you want to monitor hardware, Netgear, NVIDIA, some other things? All right, big IP. You want to monitor Jenkins, messaging system, storage like SAF, web server, right? Logging, monitoring, other monitoring tool, right? So lots of name you have, almost every name you have, or others. If you don't see any name here, so there's third party export available. You can search in Google somewhere from the GitHub you can download. So almost everything you have here. So it's a long list for all the exporters. Exporter is just a program that will retrieve the metrics from the system, and when promise come to you, they give to you. But right now my plan is to go for node information collecting for monitoring. So I am going to install one exporter or the agent program called node exporter. So if you search here, you might find some node exporter here. So but share this list to you. So if you go to the first page also, here they show you some of the main exporter that we use a lot. So this is the yeah, this is the node exporter you have. Just click here, and this is the node exporter. So here they give you only two names here. Do you want to go for Mac or do you want to Linux? They don't have a Windows here, but again we have Windows Export also available. So I'll show you the link. You can also download Windows also. But this page show you the official exporters that is maintained by Prometheus company or this community. Okay, Windows is not maintained by official community, so they have third party available in the GitHub. From there you can download. Okay, so you can also just go and download this node exporter. So just go here, and download this node exporter. So because my plan is to monitor this node, and this is my Linux node, doesn't matter Ubuntu or Linux, it doesn't matter. So it's my Linux node. So download this guy. So there's one more software I need here. Okay. So technically now I have two software. One is a node exporter. Node exporter is one software. And this software I'm going to install and run in this system. And I have one more software called Prometheus. This one. This software is the one who will create a server for me. Prometheus. I'm going to install in this guy. So let me do it very faster. So I'll have already downloaded. I'll use WinSCP to transfer my system from Windows to Linux. So this is IP 101. So in my 101, I'm going to transfer node exporter. Okay. So node exporter I'm going to transfer here. Okay. And I have one more system. This is that is 100, 168, 99, 100. Sorry, I haven't given the password. Let me give the password now. So in my desktop folder, I am transferring the Prometheus. That's all. So two OS you have, even though guys, those guys who don't have the two operating system, you can use single OS also for both the things. So one single VM, you can run the Prometheus server. Same VM, you can run your agent, means your exporters. You can do this practical also, but I just wanted to create some realistic scenario. So that's what I'm doing here. Okay, so let me start with my server. So this is my server having IP 100, and I'll just go to my desktop. I have this software Prometheus. How to install is so simple. There's no complexity at all. Right. This software guys is into the extension of tar, or ggp is compressed. So we have a command called tar-xzf, then your software name. So what this command will do, it will extract this software. That's all. It is like a rar. And after extract, you can see one new folder they created. That's all guys, it is been installed. It's so simple. There's nothing new especially you have to do. Only one command and your Prometheus has been installed for you. Okay, so if you want to check, just go inside this folder. This is the folder. I'm here, and here you can see this file. So technically Prometheus is available directly for you to run. So this is a program file I have to run. As soon as you run, your Prometheus server start. So I'll show you how to run. Before I run, I would like to do something. Okay, so that's all guys. You have to just run it and it will start for you. But let me run. Let me show you right how you run. So just write dot, because this is your script. So you write // and Prometheus. That's all. One command and it will run for you. Your server start. Okay, so it is so simple. Nothing special you have to do. That's all guys. And if you see here in the last, okay, your server has been started. And if you see one more thing here, right behind the server, they started your THDBD. What is this? Is timestamp database they started. So that's all guys. Your server has been started. How you connect to the server? Technically, you don't have to connect to a server, because what the duty of the Prometheus? Duty of Prometheus is to go to your targets. So here my target is my node, entire node is my target. Go to target, contact to this program, contact the exporter, ask the exporter to run. When I come, so technically exporter doesn't keep on running for you. So anybody who have already worked in any other domain, there your agent is keep on running. But here it is not. Here when a Prometheus come, that time my agent or program will run, or my exporter run. And that time whatever information the program has inbuilt to retrieve, they retrieve this information from the system and then give to the Prometheus. And what Prometheus do? Prometheus is store this data into the database. So that is the role of Prometheus. That's all. So technically we don't require anything else. So the Prometheus start and they keep on going to the target and loading the data. But just for basic testing, they given you one web UI website, so you can just go and check basic test whatever data they are downloading. You can also write some query there just for learning, for testing, right? You just try it if you want. Otherwise, normally we can normally integrate with Grafana, but you can do it. Okay, so the web UI of Prometheus work on some particular port number. So maybe you might see somewhere here the port number and which port number they are running on. It is normally 9090 something. You might see it may be visible here. I'm not able to see it somewhere there, right? Yeah, here it is. Okay, so this is the port number where this is going on. So because this is a web UI, so I can connect from a Windows browser also, right? So this is my Windows browser. Windows browser. I'll give the IP of my Prometheus server and 9090. That's all. That's all get connected, right? So guys, this is the web UI I'm talking about, right? Web UI I'm talking about of the Prometheus, where you can just write some queries here. Just write some queries here. I will give you one detailed class on the query. I'll show you maybe today some query. But before this, I just want to show you one small thing here. If you go to status, you can see the targets here. Okay. So right now, guys, how many target you have? Nothing, right? Because you haven't set any target. But in the real world, you can see hundreds of targets, right? All the guys you connected, database, virtual, cloud, right? You can see the complete list here. Okay. But one more small thing, by default, Prometheus monitor themselves, right? So it is by default Prometheus themselves their own system. So Prometheus by default target is their own system. So Prometheus maintain their own, so monitor their own system. So that is the reason if you go to target, so you can see the name of localhost. Localhost means Prometheus, and there's a Prometheus running good. There is no challenge. So they are monitoring by default. If you want to monitor, otherwise I'll show you how to remove it. So I'm not concerned right now in the local system, their own system. I would like to monitor 101. So I can't see the 101 name here. So there's no 101 IPs come up. So for this, what you have to do, right? For this, you have to go to IP 101 and install one agent program, typically known as exporter here. And for this, you have to copy the exporter that I already copied or downloaded. So what I'm doing right now, I'll go to IP. The system is IP. 1 minute. My network card is 8.101, and here my download folder. I have copy this particular software, node exporter. This is my agent program or my exporter. So what you have to do, you have to just extract this. How to extract? tar-xzf, then node export. That's all. You have to run this, and I have already exported, extract this. So I'm not running this. After extract, you can see this folder installed in your system, and just go to this folder. Again, you can see one more file here, command here, node exporter. That's all. You can see this command. So again, so simple to install. One, you have to just run this command and they will start exporting. So just I'm running this command .node exporter. That's all. Okay. And as soon as you run this, okay. Understand one thing, guys. Understand one thing. You know what? This is the independent command altogether, right? Even though if you have one node here, let's say you have one system like Linux. Okay, let's say you don't have any Prometheus. Just forget about Prometheus. You don't have anything, no server. But if you wish, right, if you want that in this system, I would like to share my information. I would like to share my metrics about my node. So from outside, somebody who have a connectivity, they can see it. So if you want to do this, so this is the program for this. So when you run this program, right, let me run this for you. As soon as you run this program, they start exporting. They start exporting. Let's say I started, it's been started exporting. Okay, it means, right, anybody from outside world who have a connectivity, they come to this system and they can see all the metrics, whatever they're exporting. And how they come? So technically, internally, they have their own simple web UI. Technically, it is known as API, means only one single page where they are sharing everything. And by default, they're using the port number also for here. If you see the port number, so they're using 9100. You can change the port number, but this is the port number they're using. So as soon as you run this program, the program that I run here, they start sharing. That's called exporting on port number 9100. So for the, I don't require any Prometheus server. Anybody can run this program and start sharing it. So let me show you. Okay, so let's say this is my Windows. I don't have any Prometheus. This is my independent Windows or mobile phone. I just type the IP of my that guy. That is, I think 101. 101. Yeah, and port number 9100. So this is the port they come. And here, this is a very simple website they created. And if you want to see all the metrics, just click on this URL. That's all. The complete metrics come up. Maybe some of the information might not be clear, but if I just show you, let me search for Control F, search for memory. Yeah. So what can you see here? Right, you can see here some of the word, if we can understand, dirty memory, or let's say memory total free. Say this one, that's it. Memory free bytes this much. Okay, so they are saying right now when you run this program, that time the memory free is 5.63 something, 5.6324. Okay, but if I refresh this page again, let me copy this keyword completely. This is just a keyword. You can, it would be anything, but right now it is this keyword. If you guys change, right, 6.14. Okay, so you know what I'm trying to tell you guys. I'm trying to tell you, a lot of guys think in this way, right? In this system, there's one program running where I'm talking about node that I would like to monitor, means my target. And what program is doing, right? This program say, if anybody come to me from to my this URL, and this URL typically known as API, application programming interface, all right? Anybody come to me, that time I will run my program. So right now I'm not running. So if you guys know how to check the process, just go and check. There's no process service running. I'm not running. But anybody come to me, and how they come? And then you refresh. Refresh, guys, again, see it's changed. When they come to me, that time I will run, and then I'll go to my system and collect all the information. All the information. Okay? Or collect all the data. And collection of this kind of data is technically known as data collection. So I will collect all the data. That's called data collection. Or because I collect that time, it means what is that the current time or situation of the system, that current time RAM and CPU, that current time situation I will give you. And that is the reason you can use the term real time, because I'm just showing you the real time information to you. And that is the reason, guys, because RAM is a thing that keep on increasing up and down, up and down. So just if you again refresh, right now my current time is 8.45 in some unit, right? Again, if you refresh, it again been changed on the real time they're showing you. Okay, and that is a great difference between this kind of program and the agent program. So typically, if you go work in other world like App Dynamics or work on Splunk, There again, we have to do the same thing, but that agent program is keep on running. Okay, but here my program is not keep on running. When anybody come, that time they collect the information, and because they collect the information that time, so they will give the real time information. So now it is your choice. Either you manually go and collect, okay, but if you manually go and collect, so the only challenge is, okay, as I refresh, right now my information, my RAM is this one, but as I refresh, information change. As I refresh, my old information change, obviously the real time. But what happened in the past, 1 minute ago, 1 day ago, 1 year ago, right? I am not storing anywhere. I am not storing this anywhere. Okay, there the role of Prometheus come in play. So at I just refresh, my old information flushed out. I can check it, but I can't store it. So if you want to store this information, there the role of Prometheus, right? So Prometheus say, either you just manually, as a human being, you just go and refresh, and collect the information. Either you do, okay, what I can do for you as a server, this part I will do for you. So I keep on going to this program every 15 seconds, or you can change the time. I'll again run the same program. I collect all the information, okay, and all the information I keep on storing my database. So it will save for you. And at the time of storing, here, you know what? If you're collecting, you're not collecting any time, right? They are giving you the information. But Prometheus say, I will collect the time also, because I know what time I'm going. So I will store the time, and finally your data is stored in this way. Or because with the information, I'm storing time also, then my database become time series database. There's a way internal, guys. So I'm just trying to show you guys very internally. Normally we don't see this kind of internal discussion in Prometheus. We can actually just integrate and start using it, but I'm showing what is happening behind the scene. If you know this, so without the Prometheus server also, you can utilize this. Okay, without Prometheus server also, you can utilize this information. Let me show you one very quicker demo for this. So without using the Prometheus server, you can utilize this information somewhere else. Let me show you one quick demo for this. For example, but before this, let me give one term here. Okay, you know what this table is? This table is database. Who store the time? Prometheus server. But from where we are retrieving this information? Right, we are retrieving this information from here. So technically, this node underscore memory mem table into byte is just a name. It's just a variable, and this is the current value. And this variable here is known as key, and this is known as value. Or you can say this variable is known as matrix. So let me write here. Okay, so these variables here is known as key, or also is known as matrix, and this is the value of the matrix. And how many matrix do we have? We have, this is one of the metrics, the total memory available, is free, page table, a lot of memory in the NFS, right? That they have. Okay, but here they don't have a time, so time will be managed, stored by Prometheus, right? So so this information we are retrieving from the Prometheus server. Okay, so but without Prometheus server also, we can also retrieve. For example, if you just want to retrieve the information only for this keyword, only this keyword. Okay, so here guys, there's one more URL here. It's called API. Inside the API, we have v1 as a version, or inside the version we have one query as page name. And inside the query, maybe I might wrong, inside the query there is one keyword called query equals to this value. Okay, so this is the URL we have, but they are not showing you here anything. It should be this one. Oh, sorry. No, actually not from this way. I have to use from Prometheus. So we can retrieve. We have to do some kind of is called process. So you know what? Let me tell you what I'm trying to show you. Just let me change the IP to Prometheus and 9090. Let me explain you again what I'm talking about. So this kind of some page they have, maybe not metrics, maybe API. Yeah. So they retrieve this information, and how to retrieve the value I will explain you. So we have to write some more keyword. So just give me 1 minute. What I'm talking about, I don't want to be confused here. Okay. So one more word let me give you here. So right, you know what, my node is giving you my node. This is my node, right? This is my node, my target to whom I'm monitoring. What this program is giving you, information this way. Okay, it is something like a website. If you do Control U, you can see a complete website page come up, right? So they're giving you information in the website. Okay, so you know what? Right now, if you would like to only retrieve this information, for this you have to write extra program just to retrieve this information. Okay, so the way I'm doing it won't work here, because that was for a different way. I will explain in some minute. Okay, you have to write some program here, and that program will just go to pages. And you know what? You search program, just go and find this keyword, and they give the value. So either you write the program, again same thing will done by Prometheus server. So Prometheus server say, right, that I go to this guy, they give me the complete information. Okay, but before I store in my database, okay, what I'll do, I'll just retrieve this value, then store. I retrieve this value, then store. I retrieve this value, then store. Okay, so I will retrieve every individual key and value. I retrieve every individual metrics. So in the future, if anybody is looking only for this metric, they can search rather than they see the complete data. So guys, if you anytime if you done anything in the website, so if you go to any website, right, let's say Wikipedia, or let's say Linux Wikipedia, if you do something like this, so from this website, if you want to retrieve this word or this word, so in the web domain world, it is known as web scraping. Okay, same thing is here, right? This complete information my node is giving to a server. Okay, so server, before they store, what they do before they store, they do scraping. And after the scraping, they store it. So finally, after scrap, you can see this kind of information. Okay, that's what they will do for you. So technically, Prometheus server will do a lot of things for you. First, they retrieve the information for you. First thing, you don't have to manually run this program. Second, they scrap the data for you. And third, they store into the database with attaching the time. Or because they store in the database, your database store forever. It's store forever. So in the future, you can search it. And for searching, there are a lot of way available, but you can use the web UI for query in the search. So that is a reason we have to use server. Otherwise, if you just want to retrieve the information, you could actually use exporter. Okay, but we don't normally use exporter here. I want a server. So let me show you guys how to configure the server. Okay, so what we have to configure, finally, we have to tell my server, okay, where you have to go and pull the data, or where you have to go and do the scraping. Normally in the Prometheus world, we normally don't use word pull much. We normally use the word scraping much. So we always say IP 100, you are the server, go to IP 101 and scrap the information or the metrics and store in the database. This is the normal term we use. But for this, you have to go to your server. This is my server, and you have to configure this. So right, my server is running. Okay, because this is a program. So if you want to stop, you can do Control C, left Control C. The program is stop. They show you the message, you see you next time. Okay, now what you do in the same folder, where you have the program. This is the configuration file of the Prometheus. Configuration file. So in this file, you can go and configure. I'll open this file with the editor. This is the configuration file. And what you have to configure, you have to tell your Prometheus server, okay, where you have to go. So in the real world, you have to go to hundreds of systems. All the systems you have to write here. First, second, third. Means you have to go to all the system. All the guys are your target and scrap those guys. Okay, but here in my case is one system only, 101. Okay, so you have to write in this file, okay, in the last line, okay, and what you have to write, even though if you see the word called, to whom you would like to scrap, give me the information, and who is your target. By default, they scrap their own system, but you want to scrap other system, so you can write here. How to write? Okay, my new target is this one. Who is this one? This one. This guy. So you write this URL. Right? You write the URL of this guy. IP 101, and which port they are running their program. They are running the program port number 9001. So you write this IP here. Okay, so in the single quote, my new target is IP 99.101 on port number 910. What are the port they are running? Okay, so running, and we are giving this information manually. That's called static. But there's one more way we can, without writing here, dynamically they find this info for you. So right now I have to manually type my this IP. Okay, but guys, understand one thing. If you was with me in the last class yesterday, right? That time I'll tell you guys, if you are running a container on a pod, that time your IP is 6. After container fail, it launch a new pod automatically. Next time IP might change. Okay, and now in this case, okay, you tell your Prometheus server that you have to murder 6. After node fail, next node port automatically start, and then IP becomes 7. According to server, yeah, what to whom they murder, they keep on murder 6, right? So because IP changed, they weren't able to find the new IP. Okay, so this is guys called dynamic world. So right now the world wherever we are living is the dynamic world. Okay, and that is a reason, guys, right? That is a reason, right? Prometheus is so famous. We have one more tool that works something like Prometheus. It's called Negois. It's a very old tool nowadays. Again, everybody, a lot of guys use, but a very old tool. And that world, right? That world, there is nobody can think, right? Some year ago, that if one of the OS goes down, automatically start within a second. This kind of setup. So that world is called very static world. You know what happened? Normally we launch one system. We fix the IP 6. They over 10 years, 10 years, they keep on running the same server, same IP. And that time we'll ask Negois, just go and murder this guy. So for the static world, Negois kind of tool is good. But if the world nowadays in the dynamic, that we are not so much concerned about the IP change. We're concerned about if something change, fail, launch it quickly. But whether the IP is come up, doesn't matter. Launch it, because I don't want my program shut down or service shut down. That's called dynamic world. Okay, so this kind of world, guys, Prometheus is so powerful. So you know what, in the Prometheus we have a facility. I will explain in the upcoming class. Okay, right now you are merging one container. It's like a one OS. It's like a one node. Okay, one OS, right? You're merging. Right now they are running IP6. As soon as your container goes down, automatic container launch. Who will launch? You guys know, RS or maybe deployment. But this time IP change. But if you go for Negois kind of tool, they will fail because they keep on maintaining IP6. But if you go to Prometheus, they're so smart. They automatically find that the new system IP7. and they start again monitoring this guy. So they have this facility. This is called dynamic. Here, typically it is known as service discovery. So they have a support of powerful service discovery. So now, guys, in today's world, if you go to container, cloud, virtualization, right, especially the cloud world, because almost all the companies using the cloud, there multiple companies keep on adding, removing. So we want some dynamic tool, right? So we don't have to manually go and write the static entry. This is my target, fix, no change. For what happens, fail and launch a new. Again, you have to manually go and change. So again, we are into DevOps world, right? So if you're doing monitoring, so monitoring should be again DevOps kind of thing. It should be, it shouldn't be manual. It should be automated. It should be automated. Okay. So that's the power. So this is not an example of dynamic. I will show you. For this, I have to explain you the service discovery. But right now, this is the static entry I'm doing. Okay. And one more thing, guys, what the duty of the Prometheus? Duty of Prometheus is keep on going to the, guys, I require 10 more minutes, then we'll conclude today's class. Okay, so I keep on monitoring, just keep on going to this system or run this program and collect the data. How frequently? By default 15 seconds. But this process is known as job. Actually, this is the name known as job. So server has to keep on running the job. How many job you want to run? The total number of job is total number equals to targets. How many target they would like to go? One system, two system, 10 program, 10 app. So you have 10 different target, 10 different job you have to run. That's what I have to do here. So I have to give my, I have to give my job name here. Okay, so you have to give your job name here. Job name here, job underscore name. Whatever name you would like to give, you to give. So let me give my node 1 as my job name. You can give any name. Okay, that is my job name. And guys, again, this is the configuration file of Prometheus, and this config file is the syntax of YAML. So you have to take care about the spaces. So job name always here 2 space. So I just give 2 space here. Static configure is a part of job name, so it's a part of job name. And then target is a under the indent of static. Okay. So right now we have 2 job running. One job, this is name, is monitoring this guy. One job, they already has, they're monitoring their own local system. So if you don't want, you can remove this job. 2 job is running. And very quickly, guys, I would like to show you the initial line of this file. Here you can see there's a one entry called global entry. Here we have scrap interval. So by default is 15 seconds, but you can change 1 second and depend how fastly you want to scrap. Okay. If you decrease time, they will give you more real-time answers, but it will impact the performance. So accordingly, you have to set the time, how much time you have to do. That's all, guys. And after you change in the conf file and the same folder, you run your Prometheus tool. Okay, program. So this is a server program you have to run. Okay. Normally Linux or Red Hat, we use systemctl command to start the service, right? But here we have to run this command to start the service. Even though we can set systemctl if you want, I'll show you. But here, this is the way you have to start the program. If there is no mistake in the service, you can this is ready. Now we will see one interesting difference. If you go to Prometheus server, right, now we can see one more interesting thing. This is my Prometheus server. Okay, now if I go to status again and target, what you will see, there one more target come up. That's called node 1. And what they find, the node 1 is up. Okay, and what node, this is, guys, my IP 100. IP 100 means my Prometheus server. And to whom they are monitoring, IP 101. And with this the URL, right? URL what? URL of this program, exporter program. Same URL we can also click. Just go and click the same way I showed you. But instead you click, you keep on refreshing. Okay, these guys keep on refreshing every 15 seconds. So you can see last scrap time. If you refresh, last scrap time 9 seconds ago, 11 seconds ago, 12 seconds ago, 14 seconds ago. After guys, 14, it will again set to 0. Means every 15 seconds they are going and resetting the time. Or Adam is scrapping, they're doing what they're doing. First, they are downloading data. Second, every metric they are scraping and storing in this kind of table. And this table is in their database. How to search? And for search, we have to go for query. Okay, so for the query, you have to go to graph here. This is the page where you can write the query. For example, for query, you should know the keyword, or you can search a live query searching like we do in the Google. Let's say I am looking for memory. So I just MEMO. You see all the real time, the name come up. So memory, let's say space, then free. So this is the keyword come up. So type here and execute. That's all. On the real times come up, right? So what it shows you? It shows you that one more word I just want to tell you guys here is, okay, in the database they store 3 things. Okay, I'm again repeating this, very important, right? In the database they store 3 things. One, time. Second, information of the metric. Their key means variable or their value. So if you see here, if you see here, they are showing you this is the key and this is the value. Okay, time also you can see there's a graph here. You can see the real time graph. The time, you can see the time because they have the time, they can create a time graph for you. Okay, because my node just started, so you can see the graph till here. Okay, maybe decrease, let's say 30-second graph, 15-minute, 5-minute. So this is my memory utilization. So in the real time they're showing you. Okay, so last 15 minutes my memory was very high, then this go down, up, high, up, high, up. They keep on showing you, but it is interval 15 seconds because we are retrieving every 15 seconds. Okay, but one more very important thing here is, right, is this part. Whatever information they are storing, they also store all the information with one tag. It is exactly equal to that we learn in the Docker or Kubernetes called label. So they set the label of all the information. Why? It's very important because my Kubernetes server is one, and in the real world they have thousands of targets, right? Cloud, firewall, multiple Linux servers. So in the future, if you would like to, right, only check the information about node 1 or node 2, AWS cloud, only this Docker, only this Kubernetes, only Windows, how we can search. If you write this query, it will show you information of all the nodes. Okay, right now it's not showing because I have only one node. It will show all the nodes. But if you're looking for let me show you one information if I can show you. Let's forget I don't have. So for this, you can see here these are tags that attached. The tag called the information that I'm showing you, this one, all right, it belongs to this instance, this IP, or this job, because every job is unique, this job. Okay, so in the searching, if you have a requirement that I just show me the information of this node only or this IP, we can write here. Let me show you one more query here. For example, there's one more query here. Let me share this query. This is called query actually. It's one of the simplest query I write. We can write some count, greater than, less than, aggregation. Well, I'll show you in detail. So a lot of advanced query we can also write, but it's one simple query I write here. Let's say one more query we have is up. Very simple query. What it will do, it go to all the nodes or targets and they show you the real-time status. They show you what, right? They show you in this up is one query. They show you I have 2 jobs, both the jobs, or I have two targets, 1 and 2 targets, and both the targets is up. Due to any reason, guys, if one of the node goes down, let's say your one Windows goes down or Linux goes down, from here you can see in the real time. And this is real time information. Value 1 means on, they are running. If you see 0, it means they're down. So they're showing your local host means your own Prometheus server is running up, or your IP101 is also running. But if you have a requirement to only see the information about this node, so here we can use the tag. So what can you do? Just copy this term here, and paste it after the up, and put in the curly braces. Okay, so this is syntax you can use. So this is a way to search. So I'm asking to run only up command or up query and show me the information only for all the data that have a job equals to node 1 as a tag. Click, and only this information come up. Only this will come out. Okay, so I will discuss about this query in very detail. The way I'm writing the query here is called query language, and the query language that we use here is called PromQL. So this is the Prom query language. It's so simple. I will explain in detail class, but today my focus is to explain you the power of monitoring tool. I explained the metric monitoring concept, the use cases, lots of use cases we have. I keep on talking, guys. Even though those guys in the machine learning, they have a tons of use case in the machine learning and the deep learning. I will discuss maybe in the upcoming class. Right, use cases. Plus, I show you how to integrate multiple VM to retrieve the information. So that's what I want. So I suggest, guys, just please set up the systems, set up these systems, multiple systems. Even though you can install a Prometheus server in the Windows, this exactly same way, same command in the Windows, so you have to run same file you have here, and you can use one system as a Red Hat. If you don't have so much resources, you can install one VM. You can run both the programs, server and the exporter. Both the program you can run in the same VM. But this is the architecture, guys. But when we go ahead, I will discuss more, something more extra, great use cases, why we not need push and pull, all the things I will explain you guys. One more, guys, quick information for you. Tomorrow I'm conducting one class under IIC Rise, and that is the topic is would be a part of Red Hat RSCSA level program, means Linux program. But topic is three topic I'm going to cover. One is how to install Linux in the CLI. Why is helpful for you? Because right now, guys, you have installed Red Hat on GUI. It consumes a lot of memory. So if you have limited RAM in your laptop, it won't work. But if you install the same Red Hat and set up the YUM also in the Red Hat in CLI, in 100 MB RAM around it run, so you won't face any issue in your laptop for while practicing. Second thing, I'm going to take the class tomorrow is what about NAS storage, NFS. Okay, so I highly suggest those guys who don't know NFS or NAS attend the tomorrow class because in the Kubernetes, if you remember, guys, we are taking the space of PVC from a local system, but it's not a good practice. The right way is to get the space from the NAS or centralized storage. So if you know NFS, I can show you in the upcoming class how to integrate Kubernetes with NAS. And one more topic I'm going to explain, guys, about time server. Time server is very important. All right. If you don't know time server, okay, so maybe in sometime Prometheus server, sometime you might see sometimes your working fail. Okay, so this is the not part of our machine DevOps training, but this is a basics knowledge of Linux actually. So if you don't have this knowledge, sometime in the future you might stuck somewhere. Okay, so those guys who don't have this knowledge, how to install VM, NFS server, time server. In the time server, I'm going to explain you Crony, if you don't know. So attend this class tomorrow. And tomorrow time is 9:15. It's IIC Rise, so it's free, guys. So attend and learn it how to do it. right? So that's the main thing. So, but I think you now understood the power of Prometheus. So powerful. You will enjoy more when you see an integration of Prometheus with Grafana. But before I go, my next class plan is how to integrate Prometheus Docker, how to integrate with Kubernetes, how to integrate with web server, Python, multiple targets we are going to do. Integrate with Node is so simple. Just do it. After do, just run some basic command, or maybe you just render anything like CPU, right? You can see the total number of CPU is there consume execute. So these are total CPU they are showing you. At least this thing you can try it here, or you can just find the name here. They give you all the names. So you know what these names are? These names are your, let's say, file system size. So these are known as information. These are known as metrics. So these metrics they are retrieving. Let's see here how many metrics they're retrieving, right? They can show you the partition size they don't have right now because maybe they don't have a load of the CPU of that particular point in time. They don't have maybe memory, cached. So they're not showing you guys here. Why I'm not showing? It should come up. 1 minute. Memory, free bytes. Yeah, now maybe that information that the guys might not have, right? But they're retrieving these much information. So tons of metrics they are retrieving, and almost whatever we need, we need in the monitoring world. Everything can be solved by this. But there's a way also we can also create our own metrics also. If we have time, I will show you how to do this. Okay, so that's all guys for today. A long topic but so powerful, very interesting, right? Very much interesting topic. So any query guys, if you have, hit Bertha, guys. Yes, a lot of guys is also talking about Jabix. Is very old tool, it is very good for static hardware monitoring, right? So in the dynamic world, Jabix doesn't work greatly. Okay, so that's what, even though if you search Jabix versus Prometheus, right? You can say it's a classic monitoring tool, right? But in the today's world of dynamic cloud SaaS OpenStack, Prometheus is the best one to use. Okay, and Prometheus fast also. So highly suggest, if you have a Jabix knowledge is good, you can use the same knowledge and Prometheus, but so powerful, very dynamic tool. All right, I suggest you guys to use. Maybe guys, if initially it might look initially very complex, but because I've given you lots and lots of lots and lots of vocabulary I have given you. But if you conclude, I just write one single command finally. So it's so simple, just one command and your setup is done. And whatever you want to do, you do from here. But I explain you with a lot of vocabulary because you should know what is happening in the market, right? You should know all those things. But whatever word you grasp or you doesn't grasp, it doesn't matter. The matter is you should know the power of performance. Okay, Weber, I definitely just watch the presentation that you're talking about. I definitely watch. Okay, so what is the difference between Jenkins and Prometheus? It's entirely different, right? If you remember, guys, in the Jenkins, I have given one task. Okay, yeah, if you remember, I have given one task that the web server is running. So you have to write a code where you just go and test the web server. The web page is not deploy, then you have to again run the job. Okay, so you write one test job, and what test job is doing, they're monitoring. And just for one small monitoring, I write one complete code of shell scripting. Okay, just for one small thing. But think guys, you have to monitor, normally you have to monitor thousands and hundreds of things. Writing every code again and again with if and else, that take a lot of time. So there we can use Prometheus. Okay, so in my testing environment, I can use Prometheus and say, Prometheus, go and check the website is down or not. Just go and check if app page is workable or not. If not, then run this job. Okay, so this is the way. So Jenkins and Prometheus, two different tools. Okay, Prometheus we can use in the Jenkins as an integration to do something testing or for monitoring. I'll show you some demo in upcoming class. So these are two different tools altogether. Kubernetes is also monitoring, but they are only monitoring for one thing. They are just they are only monitoring for one thing. That if node goes down, they make it up. But they didn't give you the real-time information, why it goes down, what is the CPU status, what is the RAM status, right? So they doesn't give you that information. Okay, so there for this we have to go for actual monitoring tool, like where we can go deep dive, we can see what is happened in the past, what is current status. Prometheus is look like a rat tool. It's not a rat tool. A rat tool is a remote access tool. So if you want to access some remote system, right, there you use rat. Here I can see the information, but I can't access. So if you say I would like to run the rm command to remove the old file directory, you can't do it, right? From Prometheus you can't run rm command, okay, or change the password or get the cell. So rat tool normally we use in security or hacking to get the remote access control. So we can do anything what we want. Okay, the way we do with SSS command also. But here we can only retrieve those information whatever they are sharing to us. So they are sharing, that is the reason we can access. So that's not at all the rat tool. Yes, guys, you can do the same practical with Docker. All right, Docker. One container would be your Prometheus, and the second container would be your target. How to add agent in the, yes, Vishal, it is possible to add the agent on the router and the firewall. So from Prometheus, it is they don't provide, but third party community member has created, right, for the router and the firewalls. Depends which router or firewall, like Cisco or Pix or AIX or which firewall you want to. So you can search, you can get the code or the bin. Normally, like in Cisco router, we run the bin file, so you have to run it in that system. So it is available. Even though because in the Cisco router we have a API also, HTTP, you can expose the API. So without installing the agent also, we can also retrieve the information from there also. So that is also possible. We can do it. Yes, Charu, we will discuss how to monitoring this tool to recognize container in the pod. We will discuss it. If you want to run the exporter in the background, you can use in the last, this and symbol. So it will run on the background. Okay, how we convert from QLDB to MySQL? There's a lot of tool available in the market to convert into MySQL, but technically it is not good practice, right? Because MySQL is a relational database. PromSQL is more about the time series. Even though we can convert, we have some tools available, or we can also create our own tool also, but there will be no great use case to convert your data of PromQL to the MySQL. There's no use case. But yeah, because instead you put in the PromSQL, you can put in the Cassandra. Because Cassandra also good for time series database. So that would be more logical use case. But MySQL, I don't think so any great use case. Even though MySQL won't be right performant for the time series. Why we can use Grafana? Because here the graph is very much static, very old fashioned, right? We can't interact, we can't create dynamic graph, we can't create dashboard. So Kamlesh, when you go for Grafana, you will feel wow, right? It's so powerful. A lot of beautiful, great dashboard graphs we can create. Here just show you, they create very basic graph, but not interactive graph or dynamic graph. When we initialize launch node exporter, what kind of data it give? Will it data about the memory? No, it give you all the data. I show you. These are the data they give you. See here, a huge list. CPU, RAM, file system, hard disk, right? Network bandwidth. What you want to thread, right? Almost all the major thing about your operating system they give you. They give you. Srisha, I will discuss you in the next class, right? I will guys take one dedicated class or half day class on half session even I say on the query. So don't be focused much on the query right now. Just want to test, just put anything, click here, just go and check. Okay, but how to write this query? I will take one dedicated class on it. Yes, guys, for Prometheus, we can monitor anything from Linux to Windows to anything. I show you cloud to Docker container. Manje, I might show you how to integrate machine learning with the Prometheus. If you guys know, if you guys remember, or now you guys might link, when we do the deep learning programming or the CNN programming, right? So in the last compile part, model compile, we always write, metrics equal to accuracy. So that is the same metrics Prometheus we have, right? So when you train the model, they will collect the metrics about your loss and other things, and those information we can ask Prometheus to store, and those information on the real time on the Grafana we can see. So it's beautiful integration we can do, and again, it will be one kind of advanced MLOps setup we can do. So I'll show you because you guys. You guys, because you know MLS and ML and DL, so you will really feel wow in the real time. You can the real time in the real time you can see your model accuracy. So every time you do epoch, you can see on the real time your loss increase, decrease, accuracy increase, decrease. So those things in the real time you can see. So much interesting. I'll show you. So yeah, so can you take class for 4 hours to the 2 hours? So interesting. Pankaj, thank you very much if you really enjoying the class. Yes, we can monitoring Git and Jenkins. Everything, almost everything we can monitor. Right, everything we can monitor. It is works same like Ansible. No, at all, Dinesh. Ansible is a very different tool. Ansible we use for configuration. Okay, so if I ask you from this tool, just go and install HTTPD software. You can't install, right? If I ask you just create a simple folder, very simple task, you can't do. Okay, so that is called configuration, right? So Ansible is for configuration. You can't do from here. You can also only do searching here. That's all. Okay. I suggest guys if you do this demo, you will see it is so simple. For me it take 2.5 hours to complete, but if you do this practical, you'll see only there is 2 commands. Okay, so after practice, when you see this portal come up, you see it's so simple, so it won't be look complex, right? But I think I have to cover multiple concepts, right? Even though if I haven't explained you this concept also, we can complete the Prometheus very easily. But I thought, right, this is so important concept to discuss, right? Because you should know what the power of monitoring, where we can utilize, what is the right meaning of metrics. That's what I explained in very detail. Okay, what is the alternative for Prometheus or Grafana? Again, depend what kind of use cases you have. Because Prometheus can do a lot of things for you. Just for APM part of Prometheus, you can go for App Dynamics or New Relic or Datadog. Just for other kind of monitoring, you can go for Negoways, like device monitoring, right? Negoways or Zabbix. right? So multiple tool we have. Monitoring is such a domain is very important. There's lots of tools available, right? You can sometimes some of the part you can also relate with Splunk also. No, Ansible is not a part of this program. Yes, Naveen, we might discuss overlay in Kubernetes. From my side, Kubernetes is not complete yet. By switch to new topic, so you can see the new flavor of it, and so there in the upcoming class we can combine all those topics together to get one big giant assembly line. Yes, you can use Prometheus in the security domain to monitoring the security features. You can monitor it. We can set some kind of threshold also, but depend which context you're talking about the threshold. But yeah, we have some limits we can set in the Prometheus in multiple form. But if you have some exact requirement, if you can share, I'll show you some demo of it. Yes, Kumari, you can also monitor a mobile app. Mobile app, you can monitor for sure, 100%. And even though there's a lot of third-party exporters available, you have to install in your mobile phone because you have to collect the information you have to send to Prometheus. Okay, so there's a lot of uh, exporter available for different flavor for Android. Something, for example, let's say if you search for Prometheus exporter for example, one of the framework we use in the mobile app for React Native. All right, React Native. So you can see, so we have some exporter, right, available for clients, right, available. Just go and search, not from the Prometheus company, all right, from Prometheus if you see React classes. So we can install it and work it. Even though there's no great use case for this, because we normally don't want to monitor our clients. No, none of the client will allow you actually ethically. Okay, we don't want to do, but sometimes if you have some use case, you can do it. But almost all the things that you have in your company control, you can monitor. All the company use the same, Microsoft, any of the company. Yes, Bilal, I'll keep on touching Kubernetes. Multiple thing I have in my plan. Rishabh, there's both the tool is great, Prometheus and Splunk. There's some more extra thing that Splunk can do for you. Maybe in the upcoming class, if we got a time, I will explain you what they do for you. Prometheus is only for collecting and storing. That's all. Splunk can do more much. Splunk can do collecting, monitoring also, plus create dashboard, graph, multiple things they do for you. Right. So it's a complete one tool, and that is the reason they come with a huge license also. Yes, Akash, it should look something like Elastic Stack or Elasticsearch, but it is not. This is the reason I start my class in this way. Elastic Stack or Elasticsearch is meant for log monitoring. Okay, so Prometheus is only for metrics. So when I go for Elastic Stack, we have in our program, I will explain you much. So Pradeep, OM or C group is one of the concept is to do performance tuning at your operating system level, at the kernel level, right? It's a very advanced topic. I just give the name there. It is not so much relevant to this program, but is a tuning way or to set the constraint at a kernel level, especially in the Linux kernel. C group. It's a very powerful topic actually. Suhas, JBoss is one kind of app server. So any of the Java app, if you want to deploy that, Java Beans or Java Enterprise level app, right? You can deploy in the JBoss. So you can create a JBoss cluster and tons of things again you can do. No, Samir, DevOps class won't be complete before 28. Okay, but 28 there's two classes going on in the parallel, from 6:30 to 8:30 hybrid cloud computing, and from 8:45 to your time would be your DevOps. But soon your DevOps will complete, so you will have to focus only on one class that's purely in the hybrid cloud. How I insert in the Prometheus file is like is Prometheus.yml is a VI editor, right? So it's a normal file. So whatever editor you know, if you know gedit, notepad, vi, so you can use any of your editor to open the file and insert whatever you want to insert. Yes, Neeraj, you can set the threshold for the alerts, right? So Prometheus server can't do, but Prometheus has one more extra component for alert management. So if you go to Prometheus, so they have one more extra components. It's called alert manager. So all the alert respective thing, remove the duplicate thresholds, all the things you can do with this program. So from the same community, but it's a different program altogether. Okay, this is called alert manager. Yes, you can think this. Prometheus is a way to retrieve your data and store, and Grafana will go to the Prometheus data and they monitor. So you can see very clearly when I start the Grafana topic. Yes, Prometheus look like Splunk. Look like Splunk also can do in the real-time metrics. They can do. Splunk had ton more extra features. So one of the features of Splunk is like a Prometheus, just for retrieving the data on the real time. But Splunk has some lots of more advanced features. So you can't compare Prometheus with Splunk but you can compare Prometheus with one of the components of Splunk. Okay, you can compare. How to make the port of Prometheus secure? There are multiple Balwinder we can put in the firewall, or there's concept called TLS certificate we can make here. So that's what I'm not discussing right now, but we can secure it. Yeah, metrics is like a column in a database. You can think as a column in the database. Job means if you see this, okay, so this is a target I have. So my Prometheus is going to this node one, this URL every 15 seconds, and they retrieve the data. This complete process is known as job. So my job is running every 15 seconds. And how many job is running? Two. One in node one is my own system. But if you have 10 target, then 10 job you will run. Okay, so that is the meaning of the job. Yes, Grafana you can use with machine learning. I will I will discuss you not Times of India, but the Hindu news. So try to have a look at it. Akash, which context you were talking about? Newspaper, not Times of India, but the Hindu news. So try to have a look at it. So can you tell me what context you're talking about? So guys, again, a lot of queries. I feel if you try this, okay, if you try this, um, if you try this setup, you almost all the queries been solved. But other queries, if somebody asks me where the data store, so this will come in the upcoming class. I will discuss you, right? Deepak, you asked, I think you asked me max surge or max unavailable. This is the context with the Kubernetes when you go for the deployment strategy of rolling update. So I might take discussion this point a little bit in the upcoming class. So I will explain you, right? So that's all. So yeah, Keith, I got your point. Let me check if it is officially declared that we can't use. So we'll try to find some other solution, right? Okay, guys. See you and then next class. Next class. That's on Monday, and we will go with prom QL query in detail. I suggest guys have this setup ready. It won't take a lot of time. Just do it. Okay. Bye. Good and good night. Take care.